Here we are with a stokes litter. We're going to teach us how to set up a stokes litter using the long-tail bowline and a bunch of set of fours to make it do some fancy stuff. So the first thing we're going to do is to show you how to lash someone in. So just going to get some webbing tape. You're probably going to need, I don't know, maybe 10 metres of it, roughly. So the first thing you want to do is find the halfway point. So I just get those two ends here, find the halfway. And I'm going to use the halfway point just to go around his feet. And then I'm going to wrap it around his feet and come back up through the middle. Okay, that'll purchase his feet, squash it in and keep him in that position. The next thing we're going to do is start sending him onto the opposite side. So I always start coming up above towards the head end, around, under and back out. Send it back opposite side, up to the head end, under, and opposite. And we're just going to continue this on all the way up. When we're getting closer to the head end, we want to make sure we're not flicking this webbing in their face. And just get them to close their eyes or even put some safety glasses on. So this webbing was 9.5 metres long. So 10 metres is probably about right. Just finishing it off with a bit of a clove hitch. Clove hitch there. You can go down below the surface there, which I might do. That's an option on the side, but you find if you go further down below, it frees up that edge during edge transitions. Obviously for safety you want the patient to be wearing a helmet and even eye protection if you can. There we go, so that there is a lashing someone in, a stokes. The reason I've got the feet lashed like that is I'm able to invert the stokes litter to vertical and the patient won't fall downwards. The next thing you're going to want to learn is Purcell prussics. Purcell prussics. So here we have some Purcell prussics. For what we're doing, we're going to need a little one. It's probably the length of fingertip to 3/4 of the way down your elbow. That'll be on the feet end. And the head end, I want one like this. So the lengths of them, so from that joint there, from the double fisherman's to the end is 850 mils, 850 mils for the head. Sorry, correction, 850 for the foot. And then we've got this long one. Hopefully we can measure this reasonably well. So the 850, that's with the knot tied. And it's a double length, as you can see here. That long one for the head is 1550. 1550. So how we tie the Purcell Prussics is like this. We get the knot end, the double fisherman's. I like to send it down halfway to the other end. Once I've got the other end, I'm going to put one finger through there, one finger through there, so it looks like that. Little finger I'm going to roll around once, twice, 3 times. Thumb once, twice, 3 times, and then I join those two together and spin this over. You can clearly see now that should look like a Prussic to you. I'm just going to extend it out to make it big. So I'm able to get a nice big hole in the middle, and it looks like that. And then I get the double fisherman's and just poke it through. Poke it through the hole like that. From here, I want to hold these two there and then pull that down. So I want it to even out. Okay, so it looks like that. And here you can see a Prussic going around 2 lines. And here is your Purcell Prussic. Now some might argue that this knot should be halfway along the edge here. For what we're doing for the Stokes letter, I'm finding having the knot clustered up in the wraparound, I'll show you in a sec, it just allows you full travel of the Purcell Prussic. And I've never had any issues with this knot causing a trouble for me. So here we are, we've got the head end. Head end. So what I want to do is I want to just take that down a little bit to about there, maybe a bit more. There. I'm going to go around the frame part where you are normally click into, poke that through and pull it up. When I mentioned before that knot, the double fisherman's, is, you know, rubbing on the main line, I've got no issues with it. At the end of the day, it works well and it frees up movement all the way down. So that's your head end. And I'm just going to go and get my other head end. Extend it out to about there. Pop this end around, and then pop that through. I want to extend that one all the way down. Coming down to the foot end. Same thing, extend it out a bit. Come around. Feed that one through. Extend it. So these Purcell Prussics should be pre-made prior to the job, so you know that they are ready. What we need to do is start setting up the set of 4s. So on the set of 4s, we want the set of 4s on the foot end. The foot end is generally the one, well the only one, we will lower in order to create the patient to go into a vertical position. Set of 4s. Okay, what we want is orange to the high end. Orange to the high end, purple to the bottom. I want to put the orange to orange, so I want the adjustment to happen at the top of the system, not the bottom, because when we lower it, we want to be able to access it from the top. So orange to orange. Okay, and that's how it's going to sit, like that. I don't have a carabiner in here. I want to minimize height. I want to make it as short as I can. Put in a mullion here. The mullions are a bit shorter as well, and they're really good for a 3-way load. There we have it. the bag, well, you can put it somewhere in here that's going to, you're not going to lose it halfway down. So have it like that. That's good. I'm going to extend that out a little bit. Okay, so the next thing we're going to want is another malleon, which I don't have. So I'm going to improvise with a carabiner. Carabiners are also fine in here. So I'm just going to put a carabiner in, make sure they're looking nice and neat. Okay, just like that. And then from here, we're going to start planning our long-tail bowline. What we've got here is that anchor at the top there. Okay, we've got ropes coming down. That pulley system up there could be your vortex or a high redirect. So let's start doing that one. Going to get my ropes from the downward one. If you can, make sure that the lines are no twists in it as they go up. So they're coming down nice and straight. I've got one end, two end. What I need to do, these ends here, I'm going to send out 1, 2, 3 lengths. Okay, 3 lengths out. I'm going to get my tails and I'm going to feed it through whatever I want. Normally what would happen in some systems, you'd have another set of 4s here for your rescuer. But we're not going to do it this way. I'm going to show you another cool way. So I'm just going to feed through, pull. All right, there's my 3 meters. So from here, I'm going to twist and put it on top, like this, on top, hand through, grab the up one, pop it through. Okay, it looks like that. So we don't want to have this one twisted like that. We want to have it straight. So there's a gap there. This end, your tail, we're going to push through and pull. I'm going to bring it all the way down as close as I can, and then I'm going to grab these 2 lines here, grab that one and just pop it through. Okay. Okay, there we have a long tail bowline. It looks like that. You'll notice here that these tails are coming out on the outside of the loop. On a normal bowline, they're going to be in the middle of the loop. But for this one, we would like it onto the outside. Okay, the other ends. We need these, well, at least one of them long. Okay, the rescuer needs to be able to go all the way and transition and hang underneath the bottom of the frame halfway down a rescue. If this is too short, the rescuer can't get down there because this is the rescuer's safety line. That'll clip onto the rescuer. The other one, this can be shorter. We don't need it this long. Needs to be for the victim. Make sure you've got about 1 meter here of play. So I'm just going to put an alpine butterfly in here, 1 meter down the rope. And that can clip into the victim's harness with a carabiner as their safety line. If it's too short, when we go to invert the patient into vertical, they will get snagged up on that safety line and the whole weight will be hung up on that. So we need that to be long enough to do the job. And there we have it, long tail bowline on the Stokes. So the advantage with this here is I can raise and lower, I can adjust these to make it longer, and I'll show you that once we go into vertical mode. So here we are, we're all set up now. Normally this would be on the ground with a patient ready to go as we're clipping in, but just for the ease of this activity, I've just done it this way. So it's all set up. What you'll notice here, I've put 2 rope grabs here, okay? A hard one and a prusik. Normally what would happen in most jobs is your set of 4s are going to go in, clipped into that. The problem I'm finding with a lot of stuff we're doing is because we're so far down here already, we've got no real room to move to transition around the patient. So what we're going to do for my one is we're going to clip into these 2. So they're connected to both lines. Okay, what we saw the other day was if we were just clipped into one line and the rescue team above do a main belay and a safety, that sometimes the lines aren't perfectly even when they're hauling. So here is an outrider position. This allows me to be in a comfortable spot and move around the patient as I see fit. Here I can clip into my safety line. That should be connected. Any safety lines really should be going into your chest hard point. But for this one here, because I've got it, I'm going to use my ASAP. Tested work. So what I can actually do is I can actually lock that on if I wanted to for that extra safety, and I can also clip into a hard point as well. So from here I'm able to haul myself up in order to come in as an outrider. So this outrider is really cool. I can do some positional systems just using that. I can come in, I can grab these, and I can do some cool stuff with it. The other option is with these Purcell Prusiks, if I want to come as an in-rider, I can lower the patient down to about there. Okay, I'm going to lower myself down a little bit further to then come in to adjust the Purcell Prusiks. You'll find with the Purcell Prusiks is that they're only really a one-way direction. It's really hard for you to re-establish them in that way. The probably only way to do it is to do that, slide down. Do that, slide down. But generally, we're only going to do one transition normally, and if we end up being in a position where we want to go back to outride, this is fine. You can come in as an outrider this way. So now I'm transitioning to an in-rider. Just going to haul myself up. Now I've got to try and work out how to get over the patient. So I'm just going to use my knees like that. Haul, haul, haul. And there you have it. I'm now in the in-rider position. The in-rider is good that if you're coming up to an underhang or down an underhang, I'm able to put the patient further below the underhang so they just don't get bashed about. So the team will then lower this down. And here we have it. Pretty easy. Okay, so the other cool thing we could do with this setup I've got here, if on the job we need to become higher on the system, what I can do is get one team to loosen off their rope like that. I can then slide one ascender up because I'm hanging off on that one. They can loosen one line, this can come up higher, and then I can haul upwards. They can get the team to haul me up, and once I'm hauled up, I can then slide this one up to get the height you need. And I can also do that in reverse. Okay, so that's really a good way of transitioning up and down the rope if you needed to go higher or come back down lower.